Hello and happy Wednesday. Welcome to Back Into Fishing. As I mentioned in my last video, my home lake here, Lake Churchill, Germantown, Maryland, is going to be dredged. I wanted to promise to make a video of the areas that were going to be dredged, so getting right into it. It's going to be three major areas, A, B, and C, down here by the dam where I'm at now. This is Area C. Basically, to put it in the simplest terms, off to my right here, it's deeper water. I've clocked it at around 18 to 20 feet deep, or maybe more in spots. Over here on the left side, it's more like 8 or 10 feet deep using a bait countdown method. So I have fished this area before. There's some type of hump, maybe a large tree or something down in the water. I felt it running crankbaits over it, so I guess that's one of the reasons they want to dredge this out, is it should be deeper down here, and it's apparently not as deep as it is in some other areas. But I have other places I want to show, so let's move on. Well, it wasn't really my intention today to fish any. I really wanted to do the dredge video, but I did bring a couple of rods with me and occasionally make a throw in. Not even to my second spot I wanted to point out. Already got another fish, or a fish, first fish for the day, about a 7-inch bass. We'll throw them back and keep on going. Alright, this is my second stop here. This is the spot where I caught the fish on the spinnerbait in my last video. Since this is on the more shallower end of the dam area, in Area C, this whole area through here is marked in the preliminary diagram to be dredged out. This is the same area where the log was taken out of the water. And probably 30 yards going further down to my left, there is a good bit of branches, items like that in the water. It's good fishing in there at times. I have no idea how close into shore the dredge is going to go. There's a lot of rocks in the water right here because there is a runoff coming in, but it's going to be dredged through here. I'll expect this area for some amount of time. It won't be fishable, but we'll see. I'm coming up on this tree in the water that I like to start fishing at. This will not be in the area that's going to be dredged. However, the last 3 times I've come down here and fished this area, I haven't got anything on it. You just can't get, there is deeper water close by, but there just isn't enough space to get a cast between the water and the overhanging limbs. It's less than 2 feet between them, and just can't get out to deeper water here, so I won't even be stopping to fish here today. Probably not till the weather gets cooler. I did have some errands to run this morning. I drove by here about 7:30. The sky was overcast. There was a mist coming off the water. It was a bit foggy out. The temperature was 64. It would have been perfect to come down here and throw some topwaters, but unfortunately I did not have the time at the time. So you don't get many days like that. Maybe another one will come by soon. But I hear heavy equipment moving off in the distance down here, Dredge Area B, so I'm heading down that way. Okay, I'm down here at Dredge Area B, the cove. I think this is a natural contour to land when this was originally flooded from the stream that goes through here. As you can see, they have already started on this. They're in here removing the rocks now, so the path is still open. Once they really start the dredging operation, they're going to close this part of the path off. Supposedly they're going to make another temporary path to go around all of this. We'll see what happens with that. But this entire cove is to be dredged. I'm going to drop a link in the description below to the dredge page on the Condo Association's website if you're interested in more information. It shows the areas on the map, the amount of material that are going to be removed, things of that nature. If anybody's interested, take a look at that. But enough for this area. Time to move on. I've stopped down here at one of the 4 bridges that are feeders into this lake. And really, if you can look at how stagnant this looks, and all the bridges are this way, there really isn't any stream or anything flowing in here. These are all just runoff. If you go 30, 40 yards up this way, there's nothing in there at all. This will stay, I think, the same, but probably well within the camera range here. The areas are going to be dredging. I can plainly see from here there's less than a foot of water out there. This is in bad need of being dredged. This is about another 50 yards down the trail. This area is going to be dredged through here, all of this, all the way over to the other side. This area is where, or this spot is where I caught a fish in one of my earlier videos this year. About a 2-pound bass, got off right at shore. I bent over to see it swim off. This whole section in here back in the spring was pretty good. Okay, now I'm about another 40 yards down the trail around this point here. This is past the extent of where the dredge is going to be, and you may recognize this as the bait stealing tree. As I mentioned, it won't be dredged in this area. This whole area continuing on along this shoreline, I'll stop at a place or two and mention it, has been pretty good. Again, it's kind of like a time of the year thing, or where the fish just happen to be. At that time there was a lot of limbs, branches and things in the water in this area. Seems to hold some bass for almost all the year. But as long as I'm here at the bait stealing tree, I'll give it the opportunity to steal another one of my baits. Okay, fish 2. Looks like something took a chunk out of his tail. Maybe 8.5 to 9 inches. Not a bad fish. I'm still working my way down along the side of the shoreline, the bait eating tree. About 30 yards off to my left. It actually did get 2 of my Ned rigs. I only brought 5. I've lost 3 so far. Guess I was lucky to get this one back. Okay, this is just another 30-second walk from where I just caught that last fish at. This is the area where back in April the fish were spawning all through this area over here. This is a small point along here, area straight ahead of me there. Occasionally I'll catch some fish there too. Further on, this area is not, according to the preliminary map, going to be part of the dredge, but it's not too far from here. Somewhere between here, I'm guessing at this, another 30 yards up the lake is where the dredge is going to start. All right, just moving right along. About 10.5 inch fish, fish number 3 for the day. Even though I'm not really here to fish, I seem to be spending more time fishing than filming. We'll put them back in and keep going. Okay, I'm almost directly across the lake from the area that I call the park. Somewhere in this area, right around here, is where the far end of the dredge is going to be. It goes from here all the way up to where the stream comes in to form this lake. Okay, this spot is about the extent to which I fish the upper end of the lake here. I can plainly see from here on the other side of the lake, even though the water is still a little cloudy. We had a fair amount of rain over this past weekend. Yesterday this was chocolate brown down here. It's not too bad, it's clearing out a little bit down here, but you might be able to recognize this spot as I catch a lot of fish in here. It's in a lot of my videos. Every time I've been down on this spot this year, I've caught something, so I'm hoping today will not be the first exception to that. As you can probably see, there was a lot of new stuff that's washed in here over the weekend. Don't know if that's a positive or negative. I'm just going to keep fishing this for a while. I have 2 Neds left and a spinnerbait. Probably fish this until I lose the last 2 baits. But otherwise, I'm going to sign off at this part. As mentioned, I'm going to put a link in the description below to the Condo Association's website. It'll have the dredge information on it if you're listed. And past that, thanks for watching. I'll come back soon with another video. Take care. I was just going to pack it up in this spot, thinking it's the first time this year I didn't catch a fish here. Lo and behold, 10.5 inch fish on a spinnerbait. Spot hasn't let me down yet. Oops. And another one on the Ned rig.